And now to the main point, some of the dilemma. When you are out there field hospital, it has a very political attention. Many of the political leaders, when they are out there, they want to see the field hospital, and something I wonders, why do you want to be seen there? Is it because they want to respect the wounded soldiers? Yes, I'm pretty sure it's also because of that. But is it also a kind of a way the political leaders want to be seen that they are doing the utmost to show that if their soldiers are wounded, they will have a treatment on a very, very high standard? That is basically good, but is it also a signal that it is a minimal risk to go to war? And that is also something that is a dilemma. For me, it is very, very important also to state that it is not very healthy to go to war. And I think that message should also be spread out. I decided when we started that the press should have access to the hospital. We have a Danish TV crew following us during the whole 3 months, and now for the Danish audience in February they start at TV2 a documentation program, 6 in total, where you can see actually what we did out there. And they should have full access also to see the backside of going in war. Another way you as medical profession in the defense could be part of the game out there is what we is calling hearts and minds. You know, there is a discussion whether you can have a humanitarian war, going into war because of you will do a humanitarian, you have a humanitarian goal. It's also the goal for the conflict in Afghanistan to try to create a better society out there. But in that way we also be part of that by saying that it's not a question of probably with the resources we have based on medical thinking to do the utmost for the population out there. It's also a question of changing their mind so they find us as the nice guys. And that's thinking you should also be aware of, that sometimes you have the resources from the conflict there based on that you're also part of changing the mind of the population out there. It's called heart and mind. So some of the dilemma is that if I have a figure of how many, what percentage of patients who were in the hospital, if I go down to the ward and see how many patients is actually on the ward right now, it looks like an Afghan hospital, because all the soldiers are taken into the emergency department, operating theater, next day out of the hospital, back home to their homeland. That's not the situation for the locals. The locals have to stay in the hospital until they are ready to discharge. According to the charter, probably many of these patients could have been discharged the day after, because there are actually a healthcare system in Afghanistan. But our dilemma is that the personnel I have there, they will know they could do a very much, a lot for the patients. When are we going to discharge them? And especially when you see children who are affected by the war down there, it's not very easy decision to say when are we going to discharge these children, and also how will a child like this one with half of his leg no longer existent exist in a society out there. The discharge situation is regulated. We have, basically, as you have in a system here in Denmark, you have a system out to the civilian healthcare system, and it is regulated, but we are not discharging a patient unless we know that there is a facility to take care of them. But how that facility looks like compared to our facilities, it is very unequal. Also, when you're out here, you have the pressure for the opinion. This is a Danish newspaper saying that Danish doctors are breaking the convention. And that was a little bit of the dilemma I have been into, that even though I could have stated we are not under the conventions, Afghanistan is a well-organized country. We have their own systems. They could take care of their own civilians out there. We were accused for breaking the conventions. And that's also a little bit of the market for all the organizations. You showed a little bit, Pierre, that we have a lot of organizations who want to group almost to this. But there are also a little bit of competitions between the different. For instance, in the same newspaper, that was their article in the newspaper, and I noticed that at the same time you can have an appetite to another organization who wants to do a very good. That is also the pressure you can be under, even though you are trying to do very much as a doctor, as nurses, to have people surviving for because of the war or the conflict in Afghanistan. There's also something called medical intelligence out there. What kind of informations are we actually gather in a military system, a military healthcare system, as intelligence? First of all, you must be very aware that you don't have investigators going around to interview patients with the purpose of find out really military intelligence matters, unless they are prisoner of war and following that rules there are for prisoner of war. Also, how much do we actually spend on describing the consequence of the war here? The effect of the weapons. The backside of that is that when you clearly describe the effect of weapons, you also have a measurement how you could be most effective with the weapons. And that is the backside of really describing and develop the thinking of using weapons. First of all, you can, as you say, well, we know it is a problem, so stop the problem. Why investigating more in the problems to be more and more, have more and more information of how we most effective kill people? I also have, for instance, science. That's, for instance, you can easily find out due to the ammunition you are taking out of the patients and so on, to find out where is that a piece of ammunition actually coming from. Is it our own weapon or is it the enemy's weapon? But we don't do it regular only if we have cases where we are in doubt who shoot on who, but still afterwards we could stand in that situation. We could be a little bit in doubt, is that casualties that have been hit by ISAF or by Taliban? We were in doubt. But on the other hand, basically when I stand there as commander of the field hospital, I don't matter. I want to treat the patients. Yes, that was the end of my presentation. I have a motto for my hospital: thanks through confidence. That the strength for my doctors and nurses out there should be that they should be confident in what we're doing and they should trust each other. That is also important. And that is the Danish contingent of the field hospital in Camp Bastion this October. Thank you very much.